Consumer Reports once bought 458 pounds of ground beef, 300 packages, from 103 stores across 26 cities. Walmart, Costco, Kroger, big box stores, supermarkets, and natural food stores. Every single sample failed. All 458 pounds contained bacteria signifying fecal contamination. Not most, all of them. But here is the honest frame before we go further. That does not mean these stores are negligent or that beef is poison, because raw ground beef essentially always carries bacteria, and cooking kills nearly all of it. Failed means failed the clean test. Here's what they failed and what actually does protect you. Before we start, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into it. 1. The universal failure. 100% start with the headline result, because it is the one nobody expects. When Consumer Reports tested those 458 pounds from 103 stores, every single sample, 100%, contained Enterococcus or E. coli, the bacteria used as indicators of fecal contamination. It did not matter whether the beef came from a supercenter, a warehouse club, a regional supermarket, or an expensive natural food store. Nothing was clean. That is why no store on this list gets a pass, and why there is no winner at the end of this video. The contamination is not a scandal about one retailer cutting corners. It is a structural feature of how beef is slaughtered and ground, because the bacteria live in the animal's gut and hide on the surface of the meat. So while every chain sells ground beef on an image of freshness and care, that 100% result quietly raises a question the butcher counter lighting is designed to prevent. When not a single package out of 300 came back clean, is the problem really the store you chose, or the system every store buys from? To be fair, food scientists pushed back on parts of this framing when the study came out, and their objection is worth hearing. A researcher from Texas A&M pointed out that Enterococcus is not necessarily a marker of fecal contamination at all, and can reflect handling during processing. And the meat industry argued the results confirmed that dangerous pathogens are rare in beef. Both points are legitimate. What nobody disputed is the underlying fact. Raw ground beef carries bacteria, essentially always, from every store, which is why the cooking instructions exist. 2. Walmart is where more Americans buy ground beef than anywhere else, and its record shows exactly how the system fails in practice. In May 2024, Cargill Meat Solutions recalled about 16,243 pounds of raw ground beef shipped to Walmart stores nationwide because it may have been contaminated with E. coli O157:H7, the strain that can cause bloody diarrhea and a form of kidney failure. The cause was almost mundane. Cargill reported that previously segregated meat had been inadvertently used in producing ground beef. No illnesses were confirmed, and the company self-reported, which is the system working. But 16,000 pounds of potentially deadly contamination reached shelves in 12 states before anyone caught it. So while Walmart sells ground beef on everyday low prices and convenience, that 2024 recall quietly raises a question the tidy packaging is designed to prevent. When one accidental mix-up at a single plant can push 8 tons of E. coli risk into stores nationwide, how much of your safety depends on a mistake being noticed in time? In fairness to Walmart, this was a supplier error rather than a store failing, and the products were pulled with refunds offered to anyone holding a receipt. That is the system functioning as designed. But notice where the accountability actually sits. The beef was made by Cargill in Pennsylvania under establishment number 86P and simply distributed under Walmart's label. When something goes wrong with ground beef, the name on the front of the package is almost never the company that made it, which is a strange thing to accept about the most popular meat in the country. 3. Costco. Costco has a genuinely strong reputation for quality, and this entry is not about Kirkland being cheap meat, because it is not. It is about a 2013 recall that accidentally revealed how ground beef actually works. Costco's Coon Rapids, Minnesota warehouse recalled its 88% lean fresh ground beef after it was linked to an E. coli O157:H7 illness, and the federal notice contained a detail worth reading twice. The recalled beef was made from bull meat, finely ground beef from a Costco plant in California, and bench trim, the leftover trimmings from cutting steaks and roasts in the store. And the government stated that those trimmings may have originated from as many as 16 federally inspected establishments, 16 different plants, in one batch of ground beef. So while Costco sells its ground beef on a well-earned reputation for quality and value, that recall notice quietly raises a question the trusted brand is designed to prevent. When even a good retailer's ground beef can trace back to 16 separate plants at once, who exactly is accountable for what ends up in the package? To Costco's real credit, the response was about as good as a recall response gets. The company contacted every single customer who had bought the product, which is one advantage of a membership model that knows exactly who bought what. Only 383 units were involved, and one person was reported ill. This entry jury is not here to call Costco a bad retailer, because by most measures, it is not. It is here because that one line about 16 establishments is the clearest window anyone has ever accidentally opened into what a package of ground beef actually is. 4. Kroger and the supermarket chains. Kroger is America's largest traditional supermarket chain, and like every regional grocer, its ground beef went into the same test with the same result. Consumer Reports deliberately bought from large chain supermarkets alongside the big box stores, and not one supermarket sample came back free of fecal indicator bacteria. No grocery chain in that study, anywhere in 26 cities, produced a clean package. It is worth being precise here, because it matters. Consumer Reports did not publish a scorecard ranking individual chains, and no store was singled out as the worst. That is not a loophole, it is the finding. There was no meaningful clean versus dirty split between retailers to report, because the contamination was universal. So while every supermarket sells ground beef on the image of a trusted local butcher counter, that universal result quietly raises a question the fresh ground marketing is designed to prevent. When the testing could not find a single grocery chain worth recommending over another, what exactly is the premium brand buying you? There is a supermarket practice worth understanding here, and the Costco notice exposed it. Many stores grind bench trim, the trimmings left from cutting steaks and roasts on site, into their fresh ground beef. It sounds old-fashioned and local, and in a sense it is, but those steaks and roasts arrive from many different plants. So the fresh ground in store label that feels artisanal can mean a wider mix of sources than a sealed tube from a single processor, not a narrower one. Fresh ground does not mean single origin. 5. Whole Foods and the organic premium. Here is the entry that stings, because it is the one people assume is the escape hatch. In June 2025, federal regulators issued a public health alert for Organic Rancher organic ground beef, 85% lean, that had been distributed to Whole Foods market locations nationwide after it tested positive for E. coli 0157:H7. Organic, premium priced, sold at the most health-conscious chain in the country, and contaminated with the deadliest common strain. The company itself notified regulators that it had shipped positive testing product into commerce, and no recall was even requested because the beef was already gone from shelves. Organic tells you how the animal was raised. It does not sterilize the meat. So while organic beef is sold on a promise of cleanliness worth paying double for, that 2025 alert quietly raises a question the premium price is designed to prevent. When the organic package at the natural food store carries the same E. coli as the cheapest tray at the supercenter, what did the extra money actually buy? None of this makes organic beef a scam. The organic label carries real meaning about antibiotics, feed, and land, and as we will see shortly, that translates into a measurable advantage on antibiotic resistance. What it does not carry is any promise about the bacteria on the meat, because contamination happens at slaughter and grinding, long after the farming decisions are made. Buy organic for what it delivers, and never let the price tag talk you out of the thermometer. 6. Grass-fed brands. Grass-fed is the other assumed escape hatch, and it deserves genuine credit before the bad news, because the testing does show a real advantage on antibiotic resistance, but immunity is not one of its benefits. In December 2025, a producer recalled about 2,855 pounds of Forward Farms grass-fed ground beef because it may have been contaminated with E. coli 026, one of the toxin-producing strains regulators treat as most dangerous. Grass-fed cattle still have gut bacteria, still go through slaughter plants, and still get ground on the same kind of equipment. The label changes the diet, and often the farming standards. It does not change the biology of contamination. So while grass-fed beef is sold on a clean, pastoral, back-to-nature image, that recall quietly raises a question the farm photography is designed to prevent. When even the grass-fed package on the top shelf gets pulled for a toxin-producing E. coli, is any label actually buying you safety or only better odds? Better odds is a genuinely valuable thing. And this is where the honest version of this video parts ways with the marketing on both sides. The grass-fed premium is not a lie, and it is not a magic shield either. It is a real shift in probability on one specific measure, bought at a real cost per pound, and everything else, the E. coli, the handling, the need to cook it through, stays exactly the same. Knowing precisely what a label does and does not buy is the whole skill. 7. The Superbug gap. This is the one finding where the store and the label genuinely change the answer, and it is the most important result in the entire study. Consumer Reports found that 18% of conventional ground beef samples carried superbugs, bacteria resistant to 3 or more classes of antibiotics used to treat human illness. Among sustainably produced samples, the figure was 9%, and among verified grass-fed samples raised without antibiotics, weeks, it fell to 6%, 3 times lower than conventional. The testers also found 3 samples carrying MRSA, the methicillin-resistant staph that kills thousands of Americans a year, and every one of those 3 was conventional. The suspected reason is straightforward. Routine antibiotic use in conventional feedlots breeds resistance, and grain-fed cattle shed more E. coli than grass-fed ones. So while conventional beef is sold purely on being the affordable, normal, default choice, that Superbug gap quietly raises a question the low price is designed to prevent. When the cheap package is twice as likely to carry bacteria that antibiotics can no longer treat, what exactly are you saving? It is important to be honest about what this finding does and does not mean for you personally. Resistant bacteria are not more likely to make you sick than ordinary ones, and cooking destroys them just the same. So this is not a reason to fear a conventional burger tonight. The industry made exactly that point in response, noting that most human salmonella cases remain treatable. The concern is collective and long-term. Every resistant strain that circulates makes the antibiotics we all depend on a little less reliable, which is a harm no individual kitchen thermometer can solve. 8. The staph toxin that cooking cannot fix. Almost every reassurance about ground beef ends with the same sentence: just cook it properly. That advice is genuinely excellent, and it handles nearly everything on this list. But there is one exception worth knowing. Roughly 10% of the samples contained a strain of Staphylococcus aureus, capable of producing a toxin that, once formed in the meat, cannot be destroyed even by proper cooking. The toxin forms when contaminated meat sits too long at warm temperatures, which is why leaving ground beef on the counter to come to room temperature or in a hot car on the ride home is the actual risk rather than the burger itself. Refrigerate it fast and the toxin never forms. So while ground beef is sold with the comforting idea that heat solves everything, that staph finding quietly raises a question the cooking advice is designed to prevent. When one bacterium leaves behind something your stove cannot undo, is temperature at the grill really the only step that matters? The practical version of this is refreshingly simple, and it is mostly about the 20 minutes between the store and your refrigerator. Buy the meat last, get it home quickly, and put it straight in the cold, and skip the old habit of letting ground beef warm up on the counter before cooking. Thaw it in the fridge rather than the sink. None of this is dramatic, and none of it requires worry. It just removes the narrow window in which that one bacterium can leave behind something your stove cannot fix. 9. One burger, many cows. Here's the structural failure underneath every entry above, and once you see it, the 100% result stops being surprising. A steak comes from one animal, and its bacteria sit on the outside, where searing destroys them. Ground beef is different. Grinding takes the contaminated surface of the meat and mixes it all the way through, which is precisely why regulators tell you to cook a burger to 160 degrees, but let a steak stay rare. Worse, industrial grinding pools trimmings from many animals and many plants into a single batch, as that Costco notice showed with its 16 establishments. One contaminated animal can seed an enormous quantity of ground beef, which is why the recalls run to 16,000, 167,000, or in one 2008 case, 143 million pounds. So while ground beef is sold as the simplest, most familiar meat in the store, that grinding process quietly raises a question the neat plastic tray is designed to prevent. When a single pound can contain trimmings from dozens of animals across 16 plants, whose cow are you actually eating? This is also why a rare steak is a completely different proposition from a rare burger, a distinction plenty of people never learned. The intact muscle of a steak has bacteria only on its outer surface, and a hot pan sterilizes that surface in seconds, leaving the untouched interior safe. Grind that same steak, and the outside becomes the inside, distributed evenly throughout. The meat did not become more dangerous. It just lost the geometry that was protecting you, which is the entire reason ground beef gets its own temperature rule. 10. The recall record itself. The final failure is the pattern, not any single event. In November 2024, Wolverine Packing recalled about 167,000 pounds of ground beef for E. coli O157:H7 after 15 people fell ill in Minnesota. That same company had recalled nearly 2 million pounds for the same reason a decade earlier. Add the Walmart-bound Cargill recall, the organic Whole Foods alert, the grass-fed recall, and the smaller ones that barely make the news. And the picture is not a series of accidents. It is a steady drumbeat, year after year, across cheap and premium, conventional and organic, big box and natural. To be fair, most recalls are precautionary and catch the problem before anyone is harmed, which is the system doing its job. But it is a system that relies on catching mistakes after the meat has already shipped. So while the beef industry sells reassurance built on inspection and oversight, that recall record quietly raises a question the USDA stamp is designed to prevent. When the same failure repeats across across every tier of the market for decades. Is anyone actually fixing it or just cleaning up after it? There is one encouraging trend buried in that record, and it deserves saying. A growing share of these recalls now begin the way the Walmart one did, with the company itself finding the problem and telling regulators before anyone gets sick, rather than with a trail of hospitalized children. Testing has improved, traceback is faster, and the Costco case showed a retailer able to call every affected customer. The system is not broken, so much as permanently reactive, and understanding that is what makes the thermometer in your kitchen the last reliable line of defense. So if every store failed and no label is immune, what actually protects you? The good news is genuinely good. The three things that work are simple, cheap, and almost entirely in your hands. Here they are, each with one honest disclosure. What works? Number one, a 160-degree thermometer. This is the single most effective thing in this entire video, and it costs about $10. Cooking ground beef to an internal temperature of 160 degrees destroys E. coli O157:H7 salmonella, and essentially every pathogen that made all those samples fail. And the federal advice on every recall notice says exactly this. Color is not a reliable guide, because a burger can turn brown while still under temperature, which is why the only way to know is a thermometer. One honest disclosure, this does not neutralize that staph toxin from entry 8, which is why the thermometer works best alongside fast refrigeration, getting the beef home cold, and not letting it sit out. It also asks you to give up a genuinely rare burger, which is a real loss for some people. And it is worth saying plainly that this is a personal risk decision, not a moral one. But if you do one thing from this video, make it this. The 100% contamination result becomes almost entirely irrelevant the moment the meat hits 160 degrees. What works? Number two, grind it yourself or have it ground. This one solves the structural problem rather than the bacterial one. Buy a whole chuck roast and either grind it at home or ask the butcher to grind that single cut for you. And your burger now comes from one animal instead of trimmings pooled from dozens across 16 plants. It also means the meat was one solid piece minutes ago, with its bacteria still on the outside, rather than surface contamination that has been mixed through the entire batch for days. One honest disclosure, this is not sterile either, because the grinder still moves surface bacteria through the meat, so the 160 degrees still applies. It also takes a few extra minutes and often costs a little more per pound, and not every store will grind to order anymore. But it dramatically shrinks the pool of animals in your burger, and if a problem ever does arise, it is traceable to one cut from one supplier, rather than to a mystery blend, which is exactly the accountability the industrial system lacks. What works? Number three, grass-fed, raised without antibiotics. On the one measure where the store shelf genuinely changes your outcome, this label wins on the data. Verified grass-fed beef raised without antibiotics carried multi-drug-resistant bacteria in 6% of samples, against 18% for conventional, a threefold difference, and not one of the three MRSA samples came from the sustainable pool. Since ordinary cooking handles the everyday bacteria anyway, resistance is the one risk you cannot cook away at a population level, and this is where your money actually buys something measurable. One honest disclosure. As the Forward Farms recall proved, grass-fed is emphatically not immune to E. coli, so nobody should treat this label as permission to skip the thermometer, and it costs meaningfully more, which is a real barrier for a lot of families. Do not buy it expecting cleaner meat. Buy it, if you can afford it, for lower odds of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and for the farming practices behind it. If you cannot, conventional beef cooked to temperature is still a perfectly reasonable dinner, which means the decision, as always, is about information, not fear, information. Here is the honest balance to carry out of this video, and it matters more here than almost anywhere. They all failed is true, and it is also the least alarming true thing in this story. Raw ground beef carrying bacteria is not a scandal about Walmart or Costco or Kroger. It is the normal condition of raw meat, and it is precisely why cooking instructions exist. Americans eat billions of pounds of ground beef a year, and the overwhelming majority of it hurts nobody. If you had a burger last week and felt fine, that is the system working, not luck. But two things in this story are genuinely worth your attention, and they are not the ones the headline implies. The first is antibiotic resistance, because that is a slow collective harm that no amount of careful cooking in your own kitchen can solve. And the 18 versus 6% gap is a real measurable consequence of how the animal was raised. The second is that no price tag buys you out of this. Organic at Whole Foods and grass-fed on the top shelf both got pulled for E. coli within the last year, and paying more for the pastoral photograph does not change the biology. So the whole skill here fits on a thermometer and a label. Cook it to 160 degrees every single time, and the contamination that failed 100% of samples stops mattering to you. Refrigerate it fast so the one toxin cooking cannot fix never has a chance to form. Buy grass-fed and antibiotic-free if your budget allows for the resistance gap rather than for cleanliness. And treat every claim on the front of the package, from organic to premium to all natural, as a statement about farming, never a promise about what is living on the meat. If this gave you something to think about, go ahead and like it. It helps this reach the people who need to see it. Share it with the person in your life who still eyeballs a burger and calls it done. And if you want more videos that pull apart what is really behind the everyday foods most people never question, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the more clearly you understand how these decisions actually get made, the better the decisions you get to make for yourself. We will see you in the next one.